As Easy-Kleen Pressure Systems van will pull off again, a big thanks to them and LV Auto Parts and Repair for sponsoring and supporting our efforts here and what we do and putting on a show for each and every one of you, along with all of our race teams here within the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. This time 5, folks, we want you all up on your feet, race fans. Wave these drivers off for 200 green flag laps. Get your hats, get your jackets, wave these drivers off. Get up on your feet, come on. They'll wave back at you for coming out and supporting them here in their finale for the 2025 season. What a sight this is, yes sir. There will be a rolled up green this time by. This season has been flying by, and these drivers are going to be roaring soon around the high banks of Petty International Raceway. We began this year off here back in June, and now just a couple months later, we're going to end things off. Hopefully with a banger with an instant classic as the Petty International Raceway official pace car rolls off. It'll be Braden Langell and Kevin Moore in the front row leading the field to the green for the LV Auto Parts and Repair 200 and the 2025 Jones Auto Body River Glade International. Let's go racing! Braden Langell to the early lead. He clears the way. Ahead of Tanton Woolridge and Kevin Moore. The 01 jumping up to second, almost nearly about on the rearview bumper already of the 26. Kevin Moore has fallen back to fourth. Steve Halpin will have the look underneath him. Top 3 now, single file. How about Prince Edward Island's Ironman Kent Vincent up to third? A third place finish with us at the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150 in June, and now here with us for the LV Auto Parts and Repair 200, Braden Langell. Looking to step up just 2 more steps up the final podium. And certainly a test in tune for the Fort Garry Industries Maritime Pro Stock Tour race coming up. Your championship points leader hanging on in second thus far. Oh, contact, Kevin Moore and Chris Duncan down the front stretch. But they keep it going, straight on all 4 wheels. Moore nearly about shutting the door on the 97 through 3 and 4, but both remaining door to door down the front. Now with 7 laps completed with Braden Langell still leading the way. Chris Duncan, Mr. Easy-Kleen, will clear Kevin Moore. Now Ryan Messer to the bottom of the 88. That is towards the back of the top 10. Ashton Tucker's already made his way into the top 15. Again, 200 green flag laps, competition cautions on laps 75 and 150. Just to kind of spice things up, make things interesting. Oh, Kevin Moore again up the hill. Through 3 and 4, and he is really slow down the front and way in back of everybody. But all returns to good and normal now. Braden Langell still leading the way. 7-car train up at the front, all on the inside line, coming to 12 of 200 laps completed. Nearly a decade and a half ago, car number 8, Kent Vincent, the first ever winner of the River Glade International. Almost was a podium finisher here with us last year at the season opener. Trying to crack the podium for the very first time on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series is a former EIT Race Radio's pole sitter in the Geary Woods last year. Couple top 10 finishes on the year, a best of 8th. Back his home track caution. Oh yes, Brandon Albert in the 37 has gone around in turn 2. Chris Hughes in the 44 and the 81 of Ian Rasmussen go off to the pits. So early yellow flag with 15 of 200 laps completed. Dylan Gosby going to the pits too. Greg Fay, 5th. Ryan Messer, 6th. Dave Olblina, 7th. 8th, it's Hudson Weston. Chris Duncan, Ashton Tucker, rounding at the top 10. Tucker has already gone from 18th to 10th. Clearly trying to pull off hard charger honors here. You know him, the Mirror Machine driver likes to save his equipment till the end. Pace car will roll off. They got the rolled up green from flagman Lloyd Joseph that time by. Braden Langell is your control car into the King Competition restart zone and back to the green flag. Almost 3 wide down the back towards the back of the top 10. Nearly some contact, but all drivers keep going. With Braden Langell and Tan Woolridge side by side, the 0-1, along with trying to become a River Glade International champion and Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series champion, he also wants to go for a first career Super Late Model feature win. As a former Bandolero champion at Oysterbed Speedway, Legends champion here at Petty Raceway, almost another Legends championship at Oysterbed Speedway earlier this year. Not able to pick up a feature win for the Crossroads Maritime League of Legends Tour portion of his career. But on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series, he has yet to finish worse than 4th. Has finished on the podium on our last 2 races. Or make it 4, excuse me, and then second the last 2. Langell clears Tan Woolridge now at 20 of 200 laps completed. Steve Halpin and Big Orange Ryan Messer. Fender to fender at a turn 4 for 3rd. Halpin picked up a second career runner-up finish in the Pro Stock 250 at Speedway 660 during Speed Weekend. Heading up for Ashton Tucker, making it basically the Ashton Tucker 250, as many people across the industry refer to that race. The best of the rest was Steve Halpin. Is a former podium finisher with us at 660 and at Petty 2 years ago during our inaugural season. Messer shoots to the outside of Tan Woolridge. Just about on the right rear of that 0-1 Chris Fournier Remax machine with the pink ribbon in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month coming up in October, and also for Kathy Fournier, wife of Chris Fournier. Successful surgery in recent days, but our healing thoughts continuing to go out to Kathy and everyone else recovering, continuing to survive breast cancer. Messer will clear Woolridge now with 26 laps completed. New second place driver, the one of Ryan Messer. who finished on the podium at the 12th annual Mike Stevens Memorial 254 a couple weekends ago. Was the runner-up to Ashton Tucker in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150 back in June to start the season off here at Petty. And has added podiums at 660 as well both times. Oyster Bed Speedway not exactly going in his favor both times, as Messer's now hunting down Braden Langell, coming to 30 of 200 laps completed. Langell sticking it to the inside. Messer about middle to high for the most part. Getting some really good runs, especially off a corner exit, as Steve Halpin and Ken Vincent are closing in on Tanton Woolridge. And you know what? For the comparison between Ken Vincent in practices and qualifying action compared to feature competition this year on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series, what a pace he's putting up, as now we're side by side for the race lead. It's Big Orange up against Chili Pop Braden Langell. Messer will clear the way with 33 laps completed. The driver from Harvey has been long overdue for another feature win on the series. Has not won since our inaugural race at Speedway 660 2 years ago. Doesn't have a win locally either at any track, particularly Speedway 660. In behind all the top five there, Hudson Weston, Greg Fay about to put on a battle. First six, both ahead of Ashton Tucker, your 2023 River Glade International Champion, inaugural Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series champion. As Chris Hughes is slow in 1 and 2, and he's going to go off to the pits. Driving the Wayne Smith owned machine, which we become familiar with Caden Tufts. But the young driver at Timberlane, Nova Scotia, not able to make it out for this one. So the driver of the East Coast International, number 32, playing substitute. And if memory serves correctly, just his second career start in the series in terms of not Oyster Pit Speedway. Now at 39 laps completed. Again, first competition cautions coming up on lap 75 to re-rack the field. Lap traffic being closed in on by the leaders. Ryan Messer pulling away from Braden Langell. At some point during all of that, Steve Halpin passed Tanton Woolridge for third. So car number 03 at a St. John for AJ Millett and Sons in the provisional final podium position. For the points championship, 5 cars between the 01 and the 16. But right now, Woolridge is all clear and away, knock on wood, towards hanging on. But again, still plenty of racing left to go. We're just a couple laps away from our regularly distanced races. Well, these drivers cycling through these laps very quickly around this slick Petty International Raceway. Sun beginning to set on the horizon. Braden Langell looking to make it 5 for 6 on the year, where we have a part-time driver going to victory lane on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. It was Ashton Tucker back here at Petty in June. Then Corey Hall swept Oyster Bed Speedway. Devin Snell with a win at Speedway 660. And then there's Lonnie Somerville, our only full-time winner thus far on the year. Right now in contention to try and dethrone all the part-timers will be Ryan Messer. Still in the race lead with Braden Langell close behind now at 48 laps completed. Leaders continuing to get by lap traffic. Messer and Langell past Brody Lewis. Ian Rasmussen has just gotten passed by Steve Halpin. Ken Vincent still hanging on in 5th ahead of Hudson Weston, Greg Fay, Lonnie Somerville, and Ashton Tucker. And then Dylan Gosby currently rounding at the top 10, and then in behind them, Dave Olblinas. Kevin Moore is going to go a lap down. And man, that's a shame right there again for the driver who started outside pole and trying to bounce back from a terrifying crash at Speedway 660 in our last race, the Easy-Kleen Pressure Systems 150. But knowing him, I think the main goal is just to simply finish this one out. Because I don't believe he's actually finished a feature on the year yet on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. And yet again, a bridesmaid in local competition at Speedway 660. So trying to end the season on some sort of a high note here in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 200 and the Pro Stock / Super Late Model portion of the 2025 Jones Auto Body River Glade International. Ryan Messer still leading the way. They'll be coming to 55 of 200 laps completed. Halpin now will get by Kevin Moore through 1 and 2. Driver towards the back of the top 10, getting by Ian Rasmussen. Messer will get past Cal Hatfield. Eventually, Braden Langell will as well. Ian Rasmussen will head to the pits. Coming to the line at 59 of 200 laps completed. Just under a second separating the 1 and the 26. And then about 2 seconds back of the 26 would be Steve Halpin. Ken Vincent at some point has gotten past Tanton Woolridge for 4th. Vincent trying to chase down Dave Olblinas to possibly steal 6th in the championship. Ashton Tucker was about tightly cleared there by Greg Fay for 8th, but now Tucker will shoot to the outside. Try to make it work to get into position number 8. As I say that, Dylan Gosby will slide in underneath and get by the 2. With a lot of lap traffic going on there towards the back of the top 10, which allowed Greg Fay to get away. Gosby clears Ashton Tucker. Dave Olblinas is in behind them in 11th. Ryan Messer now gets 66 of 200 laps completed, so now 9 laps away from the first competition caution of the day. Greg Fay trying to peek underneath Lonnie Somerville for 7th. Somerville with a much better corner exit up on the outside. 4 cars trying to battle for that position. Hudson Weston's closing in on Tanton Woolridge for that final top 5 position. Weston with the best finish, a 6th at our most recent race at Speedway 660. Hasn't been able to crack the top 5 just yet. With 4 starts on the year, missed our first race at Oyster Bed Speedway. Five laps away now. With 70, now 71 of 200 completed for Ryan Messer. At the moment, Corey Hall and Ashton Tucker are tied at 6 total all-time feature wins on the series thus far. Everybody else has 1 each. So Messer trying to leapfrog all of them and get out of that tiebreaker. And again, the consistency has been there with Big Orange, aside from Oyster Bed Speedway races, and this is going outside of the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series as well, with some of the bigger races across the region. But just has been not able to come in clutch for that win just yet. But right now, he's looking perfectly in line for it. As we're just about closing in on our first competition caution of the day. Rolled up yellow flag. So this time when Messer gets to the line, there's the yellow flag. First competition caution of the LV Auto Parts and Repair 200. And the Super Late Model 200 for the 2025 Jones Auto Body. River Glade International. With Ryan Messer, your leader. Ashton Tucker is going to the pits. Kevin Moore will join him. Restart order has been figured out. Marcel LeBlanc was given Lucky Dog honors. As I said earlier, a couple of cars went to pit road, including the 01 of Tanton Woolridge. So we'll keep an eye on that. He went in with Ashton Tucker and a couple others. At the choose cone, Rain Langell inside, Ryan Messer outside, Kent Vincent inside, Steve Halpin outside, Greg Fay, Hudson Weston, row 3. Gosby, Duncan, Woolridge, Tucker, Oblinus, Somerville, Albert, LeBlanc, Moore, Rasmussen, Lewis, and Hatfield. 18 cars left on the racetrack. 75 of 200 laps completed. Your control car is the one of Ryan Messer after the first competition caution. Back to the green flag. Oh, Chris Duncan was up the hill. Ashton Tucker backs off. Good call. Ryan Messer will lead another lap. Will he clear the 26 down the back? Yes, he will. Steve Halpin trying to look to the outside of the 26. But the door was shut. He stays in behind. Now Halpin looks to the bottom. Langell stays high. Just about along that left rear quarter panel down the back and through 3 and 4 now side by side. Steve Halpin, Brandon Langell down the front for second. Ken Vincent will clear for 4th. Greg Fay, Hudson Weston are door to door for that final top 5 position, both ahead of Dylan Gosby. Then Dave Oblinus, Tanton Woolridge are together, and then there's Ashton Tucker, who will clear Lonnie Somerville for 10th. as we're coming to 19 laps to halfway through the LV Auto Parts and Repair 200. We'll see into the second half of the race if Ashton Tucker especially has been saving his equipment, which for those who were at Scotia Speedway last weekend, that was the story of how it all went for Tucker to go 3 in a row in the Scotia 200. Top 3, 4, 5 are clear, and then it's Hudson Weston, Dylan Gosby fighting for 6th. Woolridge is back in 10th. Again, for the gap that we have after the heat races in the championship between Woolridge and Gosby, right now it would not be enough for Gosby to catch up and have a chance against the 01. Kevin Moore to the pits. Ken Vincent high, Greg Fay shoots low. In the battle for 4th, both of them being hunted down by Dylan Gosby. Now at 88 to 200 laps completed, getting closer and closer to halfway. The 20 out of Oakbay, New Brunswick, trying to hang on for a strong points finish and maybe a career best. Has had so many chances on the series to crack the podium, but has fallen short to 4th on multiple occasions this year, especially at our previous race, the Easy-Kleen 150 at Speedway 660. Fay putting in a strong challenge on the inside of PEI's Ironman Ken Vincent down the back straightaway. Dylan Gosby might capitalize if Vincent stays up high with how close everybody is. Ashton Tucker's up to 7th quietly. Might sneak in on the outside of Gosby if he stays low, trying to get past Ken Vincent now through 1 and 2. 93 laps completed. Door to door through 3 and 4 into the King competition. A restart zone, Dylan Gosby and Ken Vincent. How many times have we seen that battle before at Oyster Bed Speedway within the past over a decade? Not sure what might be going on underneath car number 01 for Tan Woolridge. Your points leader's all the way back in 11th. Hopefully nothing of major concern as the rest of this one goes on. Ryan Messer will now get to 97 laps completed. Braden Langell trying to reel him in and keep him close. But the last time by, it was 0.8 between the 1 and the 26. Greg Fay has pulled far away from Ken Vincent and Dylan Gosby in the position he's finished in twice this year. Got a top 5 at the Pro Stock 250 at Speedway 660 on Speed Weekend. Does also have a local victory in Speedway 660's Line-X Pro Stock division, which that championship went to Clark Moore recently. So congratulations to the driver of the Lonnie Somerville Racing Shop. Somerville back in 11th at the moment. Woolridge is underneath him through 3 and 4. We're now just past halfway through the LV Auto Parts and Repair 200. And this round of the 2025 Jones Auto Body River Glade International. Just like that, Ashton Tucker is up to 5th. For this second half of the race, it seems like he's finally come to play. He wants to get up to the front. The drive for 5 in the Pro Stock 250 Speedway 660 was successful back on Speed Weekend. All-time winningest driver in that Crown Jewel event. And trying to go also in a drive for 5 here in Petty International Raceway races on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. This one, compared to the Pro Stock 250, is a consecutive case where he won late in 2023 at our season finale, picked up another 2 victories last year, and then this year a win at our season opener. Trying to go back-to-back 2024 and 2025 in sweeping the high banks of Petty Raceway on the series. This time by Ryan Messer's coming to 109 of 200 laps completed. And for Ryan Messer, Big Orange, after our earlier qualifying heat races, 10 points back of Dylan Gosby for second, but right now in major contention to possibly steal the runner-up championship position out of the hands of the inaugural series champion. And trying to snatch up a career best points finish on the series. Had it not been for the 2 runs at Oysterbed Speedway, which again, there was a finish of 7th in there, but the other one being 16th after a mid-race incident, which essentially snapped his hopes of a championship. Had it not been for that race, or if you really want to count both of those Oysterbed Speedway races, then no doubt, I can only imagine, right now we would have a tight battle between Messer and Woolridge. But again, as nothing goes wrong for Woolridge right now. Right now would be the championship in line for the 01, and it would be a long-awaited win for Ryan Messer. Brandon Albert up high through 3 and 4. Hood's kind of flapping up and down. Ashton Tucker has reeled Steve Halpin in for 3rd. Trying to get on the podium. Messer will soon be closing in on Chris Duncan and Marcel LeBlanc. Side by side for 3rd, Ashton Tucker and Steve Halpin. Your top 2 back at the Pro Stock 250 in the Geary Woods. And the Miramichi driver will clear the 03. Next up will be Braden Langell, a driver that he's become familiar with on the Fork Area Industries Maritime Pro Stock Tour. 120 of 200 laps completed, 80 laps to go for Ryan Messer. Maybe Dave Oblinus is starting to find something underneath his 48. On the gas apparel, Burger King Fury. He's in 8th, and now underneath Kent Vincent for 7th. Through turns 3 and 4. Not clear just yet. Vincent still hanging around the right rear quarter panel. Down the back. Now the Burger King Fury will clear the way. Chris Duncan might have just had a moment through 1 and 2. He slowed down the backstretch. Something's gone wrong with the Easy-Kleen Pressure Systems 97. Below the apron, back onto the racing surface through turns 3 and 4. Might come, yeah, he's going to come to a halt at a turn 4, and the caution is out. So this could be interesting here, especially now with Ashton Tucker up to 3rd. And, oh boy, Messer and Langell have both chosen the outside, which means Ashton Tucker will jump to the front on the inside. And just like that, your top 2 from the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150 to start the season off in June will be on the front row for this restart with 123 of 200 laps completed. Again, lap 1, when we get to 150, that will be our next and final competition caution. Pace car rolls off. The field got the 1 to green that time by. Ryan Messer's your control car on the outside of Ashton Tucker into the King competition restart zone and back to green flag racing. Fay had a bit of a slide there through 1 and 2 against the 26. Tucker still hanging along the left rear of Big Orange. Ryan Messer down the front. Messer will lead that lap with about a half a car length. Messer has those ever so slightly better corner exits, but Ashton Tucker is fighting hard. He is now woken up here in this latter half of the race. Chris Duncan to the pits. Oh, contact! Bump and run by Braden Langell to Greg Fay through 1 and 2. That'll put Langell back into 3rd unless Fay... Okay, no, they will be clear. Does Fay possibly return the receipt if he can get back to the rear bumper of the 26? Ashton Tucker will lead that lap. Still, door to door, Ashton Tucker and Ryan Messer. Dylan Gosby, I thought he was off the pace there. Or he might be. He's slowing. Was slowing hard. Yeah, it's something's got to be wrong. That car is very much slowing down. Is now fallen all the way back to, at the line, 11th. And through all that, Ashton Tucker has cleared Ryan Messer for the race lead. Greg Fay underneath Braden Langell. Remember the earlier contact. Marcel LeBlanc was up high through 3 and 4. Looks like he's going to head to the pits. Tan Warridge has found his way back to 7th after that restart. Ashton Tucker, or Marcel LeBlanc is actually still out on the racetrack. I thought he was going to the pits, but he stays out. Ashton Tucker's coming to 133 of 200 laps completed and beginning to pull away from Ryan Messer. Something is not working for car number 16. Dylan Gosby has fallen all the way back to the back of the field in terms of the cars on the racetrack. Finally, Marcel LeBlanc is going to the pits. And with all that being said, your top 3 is now what we exactly had in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150 to start the year off. Ashton Tucker, Ryan Messer, Braden Langell, your top three back in June. Your top three here now. And again, I'm remembering back to Langell with a bit of that bump and run to the back of the 20 through 1 and 2 just a couple laps ago. I wonder how much that's going to fuel Greg Fay to bounce back and finally crack the podium on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. That's also been another thing that we've been long awaiting for quite some time. Dylan Gosby's gone a lap down. He is still slow on the racetrack. His bid for the runner-up position in the championship collapsing underneath him. This might help Lonnie Somerville and Greg Fay even jump up in the standings as well. Gosby's trying to hang on with all his might. You can tell off a corner exit that thing is not getting up to speed, and then he tries to get it going again down the straightaway. But obviously something has gone completely wrong underneath the Nav Canada 16 Fury. As cars continue to pass him, Ashton Tucker will get by Chris Duncan. Now at 143 of 200 laps completed. Gosby is slow and he comes to a halt in the King Competition restart zone on the outside line. Yellow flag displayed. So we'll see what officially happens here. Everyone just did their choose cone situation. Ryan Messer inside, Ashton Tucker outside, coming to the rolled up green from Lloyd Joseph. Steve Halpin inside in third. Braden Langell chose outside, he's fourth. And then Tan Woolridge back into the top five. Inside of Dave Olblinas, then there's Hudson Weston, Lonnie Somerville, Ken Vincent, Greg Fay, and all the rest of the field. Into the King Competition restart zone, Ashton Tucker is the control car to the green flag. Oh, Somerville shoots up the racetrack in 1 and 2. Slow into the back of the pack. Ryan Messer will lead another low, and Lonnie Somerville might come to a complete stop. Yes. Yellow flag. 23. Slow and has come to a rest. Right where Dylan Gosby braked all the way down outside the King Competition restart zone. As a part of the LV Auto Parts and Repair 200 for the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. We're waiting on 3 cars to come back from the pits. That's Cal Hatfield, 11, Chris Duncan, 97, and Lonnie Somerville, 23. Ashton Tucker's inside, Ryan Messer outside on the front row. Row 2 is Steve Halpin and Braden Langell. Row 3 is Tan Woolridge and Dave Olblinas. Hudson Weston, Greg Fay. And then Ken Vincent. And a many laps down Ian Rasmussen. Then the rest of the field. They'll come to the King Competition restart zone at 142 at 200 complete. Ashton Tucker, I believe, is the control car. Did not get a good eye exactly in the whole lead situation there when Lonnie Somerville was stopped there in the King Competition restart zone. But anyways, at the line, Ryan Messer will lead the way. Oh, Braden Langell. Slow through 3 and 4 and down the front. He's fallen all the way back to so Dave Olblinas and him about got together down the back. Olblinas was about just a couple inches from getting turned into the outside wall. That was nearly big. But way up ahead of them, Ashton Tucker, Ryan Messer side by side for the race lead. Messer about half a car length ahead. Now we'll try to clear into 3 and 4, still staying about middle to high groove. Ashton Tucker still looking low. Tan Woolridge seems like he's figured something out. With his earlier case of being outside the top 10. But he's side by side with Dave Olblinas for 4th. Braden Langell follows those two in behind. So as Messer and Tucker go at it, it's Steve Halpin just a couple tenths in behind them. Ryan Messer will lead another lap. Just 2 laps away from the second and final competition caution on the day. Nearly leaning on each other were Messer and Tucker. Down the front stretch that last time by, now this time coming to 150 completed, so this time by we will throw the yellow flag for the next and final competition caution. Ryan Messer clearing Ashton Tucker. You know what, as I say that, they throw the yellow flag. Letting the whole field get to the line for 150 completed, so there it is. Now, for the rest of the way, it's all just natural yellows. We'll go green flag racing the rest of the way if we have to. That car will be a high candidate for best looking car, at least in the Pro Stock / Super Late Model category. By the way, the car's just got 1 to green. Petty International Raceway pace car rolls off. It's 50 laps to the checkered flag. No more competition cautions with Ashton Tucker and Ryan Messer on the front row. Let's see who can hang on, who can go for the final win on the year on the series. We're back racing. Side by side throughout the entire field, Ryan Messer will lead another lap. About perfectly door to door with Ashton Tucker, but just about half a car length of an advantage down the back. Dave Olblinas got 3rd at the line over Steve Halpin.
16, next lucky dog is the 37.
But winless streaks, podiumless streaks, so many different storylines, many different situations here, scenarios on the line, and possible here at Petty International Raceway. So much to play for. Oh, Greg Face spins down the back. Yellow. The Oak Bay driver in car number 20 goes for a full spin down the back. Didn't get a good eye on what happened there. So 16 cars on the track. We're going to get a Chris Duncan to make it 17 to come back out. He's rushing back from the pits. Thus far, our 2 DNFs, that's abbreviation for did not finish, on the day are Kevin Moore and Chris Hughes. Again, Chris Hughes driving a car unfamiliar compared to the 32. He did drive one of Wayne Smith's own machines back in the day. It was in 2022 when he made I guess 2 offs, if you want to call it. A Pro Stock Tour 1 off, and then the Mike Stevens Memorial start 3 years ago. And didn't do too bad. We'll be back in a familiar machine next Saturday with the Fork Area Industries Maritime Pro Stock Tour. 1 top 10 on the year with us and 2 starts at Oysterbed Speedway. Rolled up green for Ashton Tucker and Ryan Messer on the front row. Tucker inside, Messer outside after that choose cone case. The Petty Raceway pace car rolls off. It's Dave Olblinas 3rd, Steve Halpin 4th, and Tan Woolridge, Braden Langell, Kent Vincent, Lonnie Somerville, Dylan Gosby, Greg Fay, and then the rest of the field will follow in behind. Out of the King competition, restart zone back to the green flag with 153 laps completed. All good off that restart. Side by side throughout most of the field. Messer leading another lap.
Correction confirmed on the 37. 37 is still lucky
Halpin will look to clear Oblinus down the front. Yes, he will. Steve Halpin to third, but still the battle for the lead. 3 cars single file, third through fifth. Tan Woolridge 6, Lonnie Somerville trying to jump Ken Vincent and maybe Woolridge 2. Still, fender to fender at Ryan Messer and Ashton Tucker, although Messer might be able to clear down the back, possibly. We'll see into 3 and 4. He's still staying in that middle groove. Ashton Tucker diving it down low. Really helping Messer up on that outside, especially off a corner exit. A lot better runs out of Big Orange, who will now finally clear the way. Ryan Messer ahead of Ashton Tucker at 158 of 200 laps completed. And after what happened earlier for the number 23 machine, Lonnie Somerville is back up to 6th. What a comeback story this could be for the driver who entered tonight, 4th in the championship, and trying to chase after something better, or at least defend where he is. Back to perfectly side by side down the back, Ryan Messer and Ashton Tucker. They'll be coming to 162 laps completed at the line. Messer barely with the lead. What a battle we're seeing here, though, to end off the 2025 Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series season. Messer had the runs for those past couple laps, and now Ashton Tucker will lead the lap. Braden Langell has passed Dave Oblinus for 4th. Your top 2 are closing in on Dylan Gosby, who continues to have issues, and it looks like he's going to go off to the pits yet again. Messer still fighting with all his might on the right rear of the White Lighting Auto Center, number 2. You know how bad the Harvey driver wants to finally pick up a win, and a big one too, in regional touring competition. It's been 2 years of trying and frustration since the season opener 2 years ago. Tucker clears the way now over Messer, who's still trying his best on that middle line, but Tucker gets back in front. They'll be coming to 31 laps to go, this time by Ashton Tucker. Probably been a full car length ahead of Ryan Messer. But Messer still filling his rearview mirror, making sure he does not get away. And that time around, you know what? Messer did have a faster lap. Clearly, Big Orange has a fast hot rod underneath him, but it's up against the elite Ashton Tucker that he is trying to dethrone after 4 consecutive Petty International Raceway victories on the series. Langell shoots underneath Steve Halpin for 3rd. We might be getting back again to the top 3 we had back in June to start the season off. Yellow. Oh, Cal Hatfield, I think, got the wall in turn 3. He's trying to get it back going, but struggling now at 173 laps completed, and oh boy, this makes things interesting, as we're starting to get into some soon nighttime racing here on the high banks of Petty Raceway. So Hatfield at a complete stop now. Track and safety crew will attend. Again, he tried to get it back going, but that thing was kind of spinning itself.
8, 20, 43, 01. Okay. 37. Hey, Paul, you gotta back up. There's record going now. You gotta get the back. Back up.
We're just eclipsing an hour and 15 minutes
I need the 22.
elapsed here in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 200. So probably closing in on a race that'll at least last an hour and a half, bearing anything else that happens. Again, if you were here for the 12th annual Mike Stevens Memorial 254, you saw how crazy that race was, from Corey Hall and Jarrett Butcher going at it to that wicked late race battle between Craig Slumwhite and Ashton Tucker. Ryan Messer pushing through for a podium finish. Strong runs for Gage Gilby and Nicholas Noggle. So we might be in for hopefully an instant classic of an ending here to the 2025 Jones Auto Body River Glade International and also our season on the series. So we're continuing to wait on the track and safety crew to get the 11 at Cal Hatfield back to the pits. With under 30 laps remaining in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 200. Hatfield picking up a career best finish of 12th in our previous race in the Geary Woods. Been a very up and down year for his first full-time effort on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. A driver with multiple sportsman starts on his career, just getting recently into Super Late Model and Pro Stock competition within the last year. So from this here right now to, again, what I was saying there with that season and career best finish to being involved with Chris Duncan going up and over for the second time in his Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series career at the same track back in July. Of course, both of our races in the Geary Woods just had to have somebody either up and over, going up in the air. Hopefully we don't have any of that for the rest of this one. It's been a while since there's been either a car upside down or up flying through the air here at Petty International Raceway, at least in this class. I do remember Robbie McEwen and Lonnie Somerville a couple years back. I think it was before the pandemic. in the Mike Stevens Memorial. So some high airtime for the Beaton Racing number 40 down the backstretch off of a restart. And his number 40 has run with us twice this year. He did substitute for Darren McKinnon in the 18 back at our season opener here in June. Would love to have him here tonight. Hopefully off of a podium finish with the Pro Stock Tour last year in their October Petty deal. Maybe, who knows, hopefully he'll join the tour next weekend and try to pull up maybe just a little bit better from what he got last year. Finishing in second behind Jarrett Butcher and ahead of Corey Hall substituting for Austin McDonald. But if the 40 season is done, then certainly not too bad. Very consistent. Got on the podium with us once. In the Island Construction 200 back in August at his home track of Oyster Bed Speedway, folks. Why not give yourself a round of applause for the number 11 of Cal Hatfield? As he'll be hauled back to the pit area. Leaders being told to choose this time by, with 27 laps to go in tonight's event. Ashton Tucker goes inside, Ryan Messer outside, Steve Halpin inside, Braden Langell outside, Oblinus outside. So jumping up to fifth, or the third car on the inside, is going to be Lonnie Somerville. Okay, that's interesting. Then Ken Vincent, Greg Fay, Hudson Weston, Tanton Woolridge, Brody Lewis, Marcel LeBlanc, Chris Duncan, Brandon Albert, and Ian Rasmussen. We have 10 cars left on the lead lap by the looks of it. Brandon Albert, the first car, one or more laps down. He's one lap down. He'll be the next recipient of the Lucky Dog as long as he's not involved in any incidents. Again, the Lucky Dog does not apply to any drivers involved in an incident. There's the rolled up green from Flagman Lloyd. The pace car will go off. 27 laps to go in the final race of the 2025 season for the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. We'll see who'll be crowned as series champion and also a River Glade International champion as well. Ashton Tucker and Ryan Messer back to the green flag along with the rest of the field. As the track lights come alive with the sun beyond the horizon, Ashton Tucker will lead another one. Ryan Messer still trying to hang on. Tucker will clear the way, shoots up to the outside. I thought Messer was going to try to dip low there, possibly on the two, maybe give him a bump at a turn 4. They all keep going. Steve Halpin's right in there behind the 1. Maybe the 03 has something here in the late going. Brandon Langell right along his right rear quarter panel. Trying to speed around on the outside. Halpin still with third at the line. Might be becoming battle potentially for second here, with Halpin and Langell right there about on the back bumper of Ryan Messer. That's only going to help Ashton Tucker get away. About half a car length down the straightaways, 03 ahead of the 26. Halpin's trying to shoot it underneath Ryan Messer as well. But Brandon Langell being right there is not helping, as I think Halpin was a little sideways there on the inside. Langell will shoot past the 03 into third. Almost trying to make something happen against Messer as well, but will stay in behind. Ashton Tucker starting to pull away. Dave Oblinus 5th, Lonnie Somerville 6th, Kent Vincent 7th, Greg Fay 8th, and that's Hudson Weston and Tanton Woolridge. So the championship points gap between what now I would say would be Woolridge and Messer It's definitely going to tighten up, but right now it is not going, more than likely not going to be enough to possibly steal it out of the hands of the 01. Steve Halpin shoots underneath the 26 for third, trying to reclaim the position. Closing in on 15 laps to go in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 200 in the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series season. Halpin still charging hard on Langell right along that left rear. But Langell with much better corner exit and runs down the straightaways. Ken Vincent gets past Greg Fay for 7th. Trying to go for a season best finish on the year. We thought he might have had podium or top 5 pace earlier, but if he were able to pull this off, then that would still be phenomenal for the inaugural River Glade International champion. But still time remaining here. You never know if a late race caution could come out. Most of the field single file. Fay's trying to get to that right rear of the 8. Might be successful this time through 1 and 2. Down the back. Almost perfectly side by side. Fay almost had a slide. Vincent clears down the front. Fay still hanging on the right rear. Ashton Tucker continuing to be more long gone from the one of Ryan Messer, as we're now at 190 laps completed and 10 laps to go in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 200. The season coming to a close in just a bit. The drive for 5. Looking like it's going to happen for the 2 of Ashton Tucker. And certainly learning plenty of things going into his hunt for the Fork Area Industries Maritime Pro Stock Tour Championship next Saturday back here at Petty Raceway. Langell getting away from Halpin for third. Our top 3 is the exact same as what we had back in June. Looking like a little bit of deja vu here, as Ken Vincent was loose there on the previous lap, which has allowed Greg Fay to pull long away for 7th. Ashton Tucker is coming to 5 laps to go. Looking for his 2nd River Glade International win within 3 years. A Petty Raceway sweeper, a 2-time River Glade International champion, 5 Petty wins in a row, a whole bunch of accomplishments here on the line for the Miramichi driver. Just mere laps away from yet another victory. Coming around this time by. Popsicle sticks in the air, 2 laps to go for Ashton Tucker. And now here is the white flag in the air for the Miramichi driver. Down the back for one final time and through 3 and 4. The drive for 5 in a row at Petty Raceway on the series is going to happen. Checkered flag in the air. Ashton Tucker wins the LV Auto Parts and Repair 200 and is a 2-time River Glade International champion. Ryan Messer 2nd, Braden Langell 3rd. And safe to assume, unofficially, but mathematically, your 2025 Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series champion making history will be the 01 of Tanton Woolridge. We will head trackside and talk to top 3, our champion, and We'll see about possibly Rookie of the Year for Brandon Albert as well. And so the sheriff from Miramichi will go around with the checkered flag. Top 3 series champion and series rookie of the year all here on the front straightaway as we get ready to celebrate. Give him the waves, the cheers, and everything for the driver from Miramichi as he comes around, making history. He is now your all-time winningest Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series feature winner. He has broken the tie with Corey Hall. And on top of that, 2 River Glade International wins within 3 years. Technically back-to-back since he was not in the one last year. And yet another victory, of course, for the King Competition Shop, the Pictou County of Nova Scotia. For White Lighting Auto Center, Empire Luxury Limousines, Lefties, Cannabis, King Competition, NBCSA, many other sponsors for the Brad Selker Motorsports Machine. And get ready to climb out of the car. You can hear me now. Ashton Tucker's your winner. The number of accomplishments Ashton and I have been naming off all day long and your possibility to get a win here. 2 River Glade Internationals, 5 Petty Raceway wins in a row on the series. Now you're the all-time winningest feature winner on the series as well. Like there's so much that got done here. How about that?
Yeah, it's just such a cool day. We weren't even sure we were going to come today. We thought we'd come get some practice for next week and just get some more races in before the end of the season. But hell of a day. Wasn't sure what to think going into the feature without that heat race. We broke under pace last, but the car was pretty good there, and we made a few good adjustments at the pit stop and got to the front there.
A little bit of deja vu here. Ryan Messer, Braden Langell, 2nd and 3rd after our season opener back in June. You had some great battles there with Ryan Messer. How were you able to hang on with him there? What does it mean to be racing with someone like him?
Yeah, it's great racing Ryan. We always race clean. I don't know if we touched the door, and we ran a lot of laps door to door there, but he was really strong. Our car took a few laps to get going, and I'm glad there wasn't a late race restart because he definitely would have gave us a run for our money, and I'm glad it went green there to finish.
And 5 series wins in a row at Petty Raceway. I mean, what is it about this place with you?
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know. We're usually not that great in practice, but we always race good, it seems like, and I'm just glad to get another win going into a big weekend. Next weekend feels good to get another win here this weekend, and but yeah, we'll just try to keep her going.
100% trying to go for that Pro Stock Tour Championship next weekend. How has this served as a nice test and tune?
Yeah, it's good. We might have made a few gains. I don't know. We need to just have a solid day next week. That's what we need to do, and this helped for sure going into next weekend. But we'll see. Anything can happen. It's racing. Shit can break. You're going to have a bad day. I don't know, but we're going to try to have a good weekend next weekend.
100%. Sponsors, partners, who gets a thanks for helping you get the job done?
Yeah, I got a lot of great sponsors. White Lightning, Baisley's Construction, Empire Limousines, Lefties, Vise Construction, NBCSA, JTR Mobile Equipment, Big Cam, Big Wheels, Chiefs Gaming Center. There's a lot of great sponsors here, and I can't thank them enough. And I'd also like to shout out the 01 crew. They got that championship, and I'm pretty happy for them. They're a great bunch, and they're well-deserving of that championship.
Yeah, great success for King Competition. Go get them on the tour for the championship next Saturday. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
That's the 2 of Ashton Tucker, your winner of the LV Auto Parts and Repair 200. Now we'll get to second place. Are we still getting all the photos in? Won't interrupt the kids, of course. They're trying to live all these childhood memories and everything here at Petty International Raceway. Now we'll finally get a word with Big Orange. It's deja vu. Ashton Tucker again, but again, what a run, especially after the Mike Stevens Memorial 2, getting a podium there as well. You come short of the win, but still, great ending to the year.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, this place has been, I love it, but it's been my worst track for a long time. And then just to have all 3 times we come here, have 3 podiums, couldn't ask for more. But I really wanted that one. I gave him all I had, and just he had a little bit left on that long run, more than me. So no, the car was an absolute bullet. I really didn't think it was going to be that good, but it was. So I just tried to manage it as much as I could once we got out front, and I was just putting a while. And then just once it had to turn it up, it was real good. So no, it was fun racing with Ashton. He's very clean, so no, it's good fun.
100%. And of course, too, I would say, mathematically speaking, second in the championship. How about that? Career best.
That sounds pretty good, too. I didn't know if we were actually going to be able to get there or not, so no, that's pretty cool.
100%. Who gets the thanks? You have so much support here for your team. Who helps make it happen for you?
First off, the crew, which is mainly it's all family. Mom and Dad, my fiance Camden, George, Ben, Brian, Xander, Lauren. I gotta look and see. All my grandparents are all down here. They all come to every one of these, so I can't thank them enough. All my awesome sponsors that helped me do this. Couldn't do it without them.
100%. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's the one of Ryan Messer, your second place finisher. And now to third place, Braden Langell, the lone Nova Scotian in this field. As I said to those two, deja vu, welcome back.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I said the first time, 3 kids growing up racing bando cars together, and all of us taller. They got a little more height than I do, but cars got bigger, so it's cool to race all these guys. I got a lot of respect for this tour, a lot of respect for all the guys on the tour, so hats off to Ryan and Ashton and the rest of the crowd here tonight.
And you really had to fight for that position too. You're kind of back and forth all throughout the top 5 and the top 10. But against some of the veterans here of this sport and of this series and everything, how are you able to conquer?
Just don't beat yourself is the big one. A lot of race car drivers will beat themselves with a little bit of adversity. So we're running third there and fell back to 5th with a little bit of a motor stumble, and Craig kept my head on my shoulders and just picked the other 2 ahead of us off there and ended up P3.
And kind of like Ashton Tucker, testing for next Saturday, the Fork Area Industries Maritime Pro Stock Tour finale. We'll see if maybe you can repeat that next weekend, eh?
Yeah, we'll be back next weekend for the season finale on the Fork Area Industries Maritime Pro Stock Tour. So I love this place. I love coming to this place. Love the fact that they pack the stands every night and have a huge crowd. So hats off to the fans for coming out, and we'll be back next weekend.
Who gets a thanks?
Obviously, Coldstream, the chili pops. I'm sure there'll be lots of those drank tonight. Obviously, everyone standing in front of me here, can't do it without those guys. Craig, Greg, Robert, Megan, my girlfriend. Spent a lot of time in the garage to do this stuff. So it's off to those guys. Coldstream Clear Distillery, TMW, Velocity Machining and Welding, Arsenal, RV Repairs. And like I said, everyone that comes out tonight and watches us.
Absolutely. We'll see you next Saturday. Congratulations.
See ya. Thank you.
That's the 26th of Braden Langell, your third place finish. And I think I'm going to save the best for last. We'll start off with the Rookie of the Year, the number 37, Brandon Albert. Okay, where are the woos? I only heard one person. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Oh, the dog's right there. Can't see in the dark, but there we go. Brandon, first year completed in a super late model, and that's such a transition from the street stocks and the late model sports that you're a little bit more used to. But now here, your first year is all wrapped up. How about it?
All in all, it was an amazing year compared to the street stock. It's just a totally different beast. So to be able to finish every race, that's all we came here to do, and that's what we did. So
100%. And tell us a little bit more about what you learned through the year and being able to race with such elite competitors along with yourself.
We learned a lot. Like, the car takes way different adjustments compared to the street stock. So, like, just a quarter of a turn's a big adjustment. So we just, like, today, car was free and entry all day, but the guys worked at it, and we had a pretty good run there at the end. So with time, we should be able to run with the big guys, but wouldn't be able to do it without all my help from my family, my friends, the sponsors, like Brothers Home Improvement, DC Tire, Southwest Welding, Seymour Garage Construction, Oysterbed SO. I'm probably missing a few, but Everybody that comes out every weekend to help, can't thank them enough.
100%. How about this for Prince Edward Island too? Rookie of the Year, Series champion.
Yeah, it's awesome. I can't thank Easy-Kleen enough for being the title sponsor, and everybody else like Chris Fournier, yourself, everybody that makes this happen for us.
And we're proud to do so and glad to have you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's the 37, Brandon Albert, your Rookie of the Year for the 2025 Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. And now, how many different ways could I possibly describe this? The youngest champion in Super Late Model and Pro Stock racing across the Maritimes was at 19 years, 10 months, 2 days, something like that. But Tan Woolridge, consistency was the key. You are an Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series champion. How do you hear that? What goes through your mind?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy to hear. It was 4 years pretty much of this weekend. I was sitting on the front stretch at Scotia with a Bando championship, so it wasn't too long ago. I was just racing bandos with friends, and I'm really happy that these guys picked me up there last year, and I'm happy that they did all the hard work, and I was able to get the result for them.
From the developmental years with Trevor Lamb Racing, now here to 01 Motorsports, all the help from Troy Burke and everybody else involved in that team. Just the steps that you took along the way and the mindsets and everything that your team had all the way through the season. I mean, it all came together so perfectly, right?
Yeah, it did. Like I said, these guys just worked night in and night out all summer. When you bring really fast race cars, it's not hard to run up front. So they made my job pretty easy, for the most part. It was just smooth, clean drives with a really good race car. We struggled a little bit today, but, we hung on to it there at the end, and really happy I was able to get it for them.
2 times within 3 years, a Prince Edward Island champion. You joined Dylan Gosby from 2023, so great Prince Edward Island representation too.
Yeah, I'm happy to see it. There hasn't been a ton of PEI champions, but I'm lucky that we were able to get one, and there's a lot of strong drivers at PEI, so I'm happy we were able to represent really well.
You joined Dave Gorvet from 1997, Dylan Gosby 2023. If you want a little fun fact, I did the math. Dave Gorvet's championship in 1997, how many years ago that was from now is the car number that you started off with in the Super Late Models in number 28, so how about that?
Yeah, that's really cool. Just a lot of cool facts in history kind of going down tonight, so, it's just a really good night, and I can't thank all the guys and gals that are standing out here in the front stretch with me, because it's them that did the hard work. One guy that maybe not doesn't get talked about enough is Jesse Thompson. He did a ton all year for the King Competition guys. They brought him on this year. It's just been huge. It's kind of stepped up the social media presence in the Maritimes, and I know he's had a bit of a rough day today, but we're all with him and happy to celebrate with him tonight.
100% too, and to do this in awareness of breast cancer, and to do this especially with Kathy Fournier coming off the recent successful surgery too. What does that all mean?
Yeah, it's just huge. We've got a huge support team, and everybody chips in, whether it's working on the shop, feeding all the crew to make sure that we're all ready to go when race time happens, social media presence to get sponsors and spread us around. So, huge support group. I'm really happy we were able to get this for Kathy with the pink on it this weekend, and we're going to celebrate here for a couple of weeks until the banquet, and then it's back to work for 2026.
Sponsors, marketing partners, who helps you get to the racetrack?
Yeah, Chris Fournier, Remax, Livingston Steel, GSD Utility Services, Rangers Automotive, SGK Atlantic. There's plenty of sponsors that have helped me since 7 years old racing bandos. So everybody that supported me, I guess from the very early days, has helped get me to this moment. So just really happy to be here. Obviously all the crew. There's too many here to say them all, because I'll definitely end up forgetting one, and none of them deserve to be forgotten, because they all chip in equally.
100% too, back-to-back, no pressure. Is that in mind?
We'll see. We don't know what we're doing yet, but it'll be a full-time season next year. So, like I said, we're going to celebrate a couple weeks, go to the banquet, and after that happens, it's full time ahead for 2026.
100%. You can now call yourself a series champion. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's the 01 Tan Woolridge, your 2025 Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series champion. Troy Burke, come on. Troy. How about this kid? How about him?
You tell me. How about that? What? Hell of a year. We talked to him before the races started today, and the story was, even if we didn't come out with a champion today and have Tant perform like that it was still a hell of a year. We took him on, and we were expecting maybe a top 10, maybe an odd podium, but the kid, man, he can wheel. So good on him. The rest of the crew did an awesome job. The wives did an awesome job cooking and keeping us fed. The slushy machine is on right now, so we're good to go.
I agree. It's great. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much.
That's Troy Burr for 01 Motorsports. And Chris, too, your name's on the car. And, of course, your whole deal with Kathy and everything. I mean, this is special, right?
We had a big week, actually, with the championship and Kathy surgery. And the boys decorated the car up really nice. So we want to congratulate Tanton and the whole crew and everybody. Like, these are awesome people, their family. And we're very blessed to have them.
100%. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Chris Fournier, Prime 01 and 10 Wolverts. One more time, folks. Top 3 Rookie Series champion.